Hi everyone, my name is Rachel and welcome to the Fringe Seams. Thanks very much for joining me again for another video. If you are new to my channel, you're very welcome, and if you are a regular viewer or subscriber, then welcome back. This is my winter and spring 2024 makes video, and it is a bumper edition. I've realised that I haven't made a makes video in a long time, and this is basically everything I've got made up since Christmas. So I'll go into a little bit of detail. If you've seen my Friday sews, you've seen these already, but I'll go in a little bit more detail into them about sizing, how I found the pattern, that kind of thing. But if you would like any more information, then please drop me a comment below and I'll be sure to get back to you. I'm also going to put in some chapters down below because I've got four kind of categories. I've got dresses and skirts, I've got miscellaneous, I've got tops, and I've got kids clothes, so depending on where your interest is. So because this is a bumper edition, I would recommend you get yourself a cup of tea, cup of coffee, glass of wine, depending on what's appropriate for your time of day, whenever or wherever you're watching it. And I guess we'll just crack on. So I've got my notes here and I'm going to just start with dresses and skirts. So in no particular order really, I just thought I'd categorise them like that. The first thing I'd like to talk to you about is the Lotta dress. And I made this to go to Stitch Festival, and while I was making it up in my Friday sews, somebody very kindly said, why don't you enter that for Sew Yellow for Endo? And I cannot believe that never dawned on me, given how yellow this dress is. So it's absolutely beautiful yellow, but it's got zebras on it. This fabric is from Driessen stoffen, and this is the Tilly in the Buttons Lotta dress. So for all of these, I'll pop in pictures of me wearing them here because it's tricky to give you a full length view. I made a straight size 4 in this, and I made the short sleeve version. It's got a lovely elasticated waist. I made the straight size 4, which fits really well, and even the length of it, so I'm 5'9", it came out really nicely. The only difference I made was that I don't like facings. If you're a regular viewer here, you know that. So I decided to put on some binding. So I've got some lovely specky seamstress Beyond the Pink Door binding here, and it worked out really well instead of the facing. And I think because it's quite light fabric, the facing didn't weigh it down, or the facing would have weighed it down. So I think the binding looks really nice. The only other difference I made was I added ½ an inch to the bodice length, and I think the fit is really good. And I got a great picture of me and the lovely Jess, So What Have I Sew, at the Stitch Festival wearing my Sew Yellow for Endo entry. So love this pattern, highly recommended for beginners, really great instructions. It does take quite a bit of fabric, obviously being a dress, but I think it's just a really pretty throw it over your head kind of dress. I've made a good few of these now. One great thing about this pattern is you can make it in woven or you can make it in a knit fabric, which is really great. So I've now made both, so it's a really versatile pattern. So I have my notes here just in case I forget anything. So I think that's all I want to say about this dress. So yes, I'm looking forward to getting loads more wear out of this come the summer months. Next up is another one from the Stitch Festival, and this is my fringe dress, and probably one of my favourite makes so far this year actually. This is the Chalk and Notch fringe dress in this beautiful Nerida Hansen fabric from Driessen stoffen. Just having a quick look here, the sizing. Yes, so I made a size 8 grading size to a size 10. So an 8 at the bust, a 10 at the waist and the hips, and I added 2 inches to the bodice, which then fit perfectly at my natural waist. So it's a gorgeous pattern, little facing here that you sew down, which makes it nice and neat. I've got the lovely tabs on the side and these beautiful pigeon wishes buttons that I got from the Beyond the Pink Door advent calendar there at Christmas as well, and it's just a beautiful dress. And it has pockets, it has a lovely swishy skirt, and I just loved wearing this to the Stitch Festival. I really did. It's so comfortable and very easy to wear, and I have plans for another one, and it's just really great. So I got this fabric from Crafty Studio, so she has a range of Nerida Hansen fabrics. I think this is one of her cotton poplins, and it's absolutely beautiful to work with. It really is, and it's just such a gorgeous make. It's got the little waist ties here, a little bit of gathering at the waist, and it's just a gorgeous dress. So yeah, as I say, I've got plans for another one, and I don't think that one will be my last. So love the fringe dress, absolutely love it. Next up is my heather dress, my Sew Over It heather dress. So I was lucky enough in the A Gift November challenge last year, hosted by the lovely Alison from Sew Like Donny and Adam from Adam Sews. In November, I won a prize, so I won 3 Sew Over patterns, which was great. And one of the patterns I chose was the Sew Over It heather dress. This one of their older patterns, I think, released a good few years ago, and I'd always seen it around and never made it up. So when I won it, obviously it was the perfect opportunity. So I made it in this beautiful Ponte fabric. It's a beautiful cobalt blue. This again is from Crafty Studio. Let me just go back and see what sizing I did. So yes, the sizing I slightly agonized over. So I'm 5'9", so a little bit taller than the patterns are drafted for. And I was really concerned about these pockets here, about where they'd sit on my waist and where they'd sit on my hips. So what I ended up doing was I added 2 inches to the an inch to the bodice, but I added it here above the pockets, and then I removed length from the skirt. So I kind of shunted things up, as it were, and then I think I also added an inch to the sleeve length, and I think the fit is pretty good. It's got these beautiful princess seams down the front, which I think make a really, really nice fit. It's really comfortable. I put a little bit of binding on the neckline here just to make it a bit prettier on the inside, and I didn't use my overlocker on these seams because I didn't want to add any extra bulk, but I've been wearing this to work. I think it looks great with a pair of black tights and black heels, and I think it looks really, really smart. I have seen people colour block it, which gives a really, really nice effect, but it's just a really, really nice dress. Again, quite simple, but quite elegant and quite put together as well, if you know what I mean. And Ponte, of course, is lovely, lovely to work with. Very, very stable, and yeah, beautiful colour, despite it being the same colour as my school uniform, which I realised when I bought it. What the next make is just a bit of fun, really. So I wanted to make a tulle skirt and a kind of a bias cut skirt. I had this kind of vision in my head. So what I decided, as I dropped it on the floor, little slippery guy, this lad. So what I decided to make for this skirt was a free pattern, and this is from Mood Fabrics. So I'll link everything below, and this is called their Indigo skirt, and it's a free pattern. It's just a bias cut skirt, and I think it came out quite well. It's got a lovely thick waistband, or a wide waistband, I should say. Some of the bias cut skirts I've seen have quite a thin elastic waistband, but this makes it very, very comfortable. So for this I made, my measurements put me in a size 14 to 16, and they have kind of bands as opposed to individual sizes, but I made that up and I actually sized down to a 12 to 14. It does have French seams on the inside, which make it look very, very neat, but I had basted it luckily beforehand before I did the French seams, so I did actually size down on it, and I think the fit is pretty good. It's a very easy make, very straightforward make. Basically it's a front and a back. It is quite fabric hungry just because it's cut in the bias, so I think it does take a good 2 meters, maybe even more, but I think the finish is very, very nice. And I wore it with, I'll show you later, I've got a chunky jumper, I've got a t-shirt. I think it looks really cute. But what I wanted to do was add a tulle skirt over it. And for this, I just self-drafted it, basically. So both the tulle and the blue fabric are from driessen stoffen. And what I did was I basically bought a length of tulle and then just gathered it in the length. And then I made a little waistband, gathered it into the waistband, made a little covered button, made a little buttonhole, and they go together and it slots over your skirt. So you can have a tulle skirt, a bit kind of Frozen-esque if you want to be Elsa from Frozen, or you can take it off, just have the bias cut skirt, and I think it looks really, really cute. I'm very happy with this. This was actually surprisingly easy to sew with. I was expecting it to get absolutely gnarled up in my machine, but it didn't. The other thing I made to go along with this was a little hair bow, which I love, and what I do also is tie it to the back of the skirt, which I think looks really, really cute. Or you can just wear it in your hair as well. It's on a little hair bubble. I made a little tutorial, a little sew along for this, so again I'll link that below, but I just think this fabric is a beautiful colour, and hopefully I get a lot of wear out of my bias cut skirt. I do have plans to make another one of those, and I think this tulle skirt is just a bit of fun. It really is. And if you think of something, because you're able to sew, you can make it happen, which of course is the joy of sewing your own clothes. So I think that is all my dresses. I'll move on to the kind of miscellaneous things where I've got a few little bags to show you. So in the miscellaneous category, I made a few little bags and a little purse. I also made a few things for the house. So I made Easter table runners and little bunnies. I'll pop in a picture here because they've all been put away after Easter. I did actually make my mum a lovely bag. Did I take a photograph of it? No, I completely forgot. So it's based on the amazing tutorial by my lovely, lovely sparkly friend Sam from Sew Let's Spark with Sam. She has a wonderful tutorial on how to do a fold-up tote. I'll pop in a picture here and I'll link it down below. It's a fabulous pattern, fabulous tutorial, and I really loved the bag I sent to my mum and forgot to take a picture of it, but it's really lovely and I know that she loves it, so I would encourage you to check out that video. It's absolutely brilliant. So the other little things I got made up were a little purse, a little coin purse. I'll link this below. It was a free pattern. Not the greatest pattern in the world, but the result is quite cute. It's got a little front zip, and then it's got a zip at the top, and it's fully lined on the inside as well. And I decided it'd be fun to add a little chain here that has my name in it, which I think is really cute. So if you are looking for a little free pattern, yes, it's free, but just be warned. But I did enjoy making this, and I think the result is really, really cute. And I love this fabric, it's really cute. But one of my favourite miscellaneous items that I got made up was this fabulous pouch, and this is the Adam Sews, the amazing, wonderful, talented Adam Sews. This is called his hipster pouch. This is my 4th one. So I've made this bag, I've made another bag for myself, I've made a bag for my sister, and I've made one without the straps as a kind of a makeup bag, and I just love it. So it's fully quilted, fully lined, and it's got a beautiful strap. The difficulty level on this, I put on myself because I decided to do it in jersey. So this is a beautiful jacquard jersey that I got from the Fabruc counter, and I've got a matching top in it later, which I shall show you. But I just thought it would make a really, really nice kind of quilted bag, a bit kind of designery. So I put a load of interfacing on it, and it's backed with foam, and it has behaved itself quite nicely, but I still think it looks very nice. So it's got a lovely zip at the front, and then the inside is where you'll see the quilted panel again, and it's lined in flamingos. I've got a lovely label here that says "You can't buy this." It's from Kylie and the Machine. Then on the back you've got little flamingos again, and this beautiful glittery webbing that I got again from the Fabruc counter. It's got your slider, and then on the inside it is lined in flamingos and rainbows. Rainbow binding, which I absolutely love. So every time I open it, it just makes me very, very happy. So all the instructions, Adam holds your hand the whole way about how to do the binding, how to do the lining. Everything is absolutely brilliant, really, really good. And I used my lovely zips. So in my previous Friday sews, I did a little mention about how to use these continuous zips, so I'll link to that below as well, and I think they make it look really, really nice. So fabulous, fabulous pattern, I would recommend. And again, I use this at the Stitch Festival. When will I stop talking about the Stitch Festival? Not anytime soon anyway. So that was my lovely bag. So next up on the categories are tops. So this is where the majority of my time went since Christmas. I've just been making a load and load of tops. So to start off with, you know how much I love a seasonal make. So I started off with a few Valentine's Day jumpers. So this is a ready-to-wear jumper from Primark, pennies. However, I appliqued on little crochet hearts, which I crocheted myself, which I was completely addicted to doing. I'll link the pattern below, and I put them as a little heart motif. So hearts as a heart, and I think it's very, very cute. So similar, if you watched my videos last year, to my my Father Christmas Santa Claus applique crochet jumper as well. So I just love that effect. I think it came out really, really nicely. To go along with that for Valentine's Day, I also made myself a little heart on the sleeve jumper. So I'll pop in a picture here because I can't really get you the full effect here, but if I put these together, does that look like a heart? Kind of. So this applique comes from Waves and Wild. It's actually a kid's applique pattern, but I just used the biggest size and it worked out fine. And I decided to put it on a Billie jumper. So Tilly and the Buttons Billie. I absolutely love this pattern. It fits really well, and I can sew one up in about 45 minutes, and that includes cutting it out. So it's in this beautiful pink fabric with matching pink ribbing from Driessen Stoffen. The red, I think, was just in my stash. I have a feeling that was from Crafty Studio years ago. And what I did here, again, was what I love doing with my jumpers, is I put binding on the neckline. I do have a tutorial again on how to do this binding. I'll link that below. And the good thing about this is that you can add it retrospectively to any sweater pattern, and I think it looks really, really nice. So this is my heart and sleeve jumper. So the only change I made was I just added the heart, the half heart front and back, just so you could see it from both sides. I love the Tilly and the Buttons Billie patterns, absolutely fabulous. I always make a size 4 grading to a size 5, and I add an inch onto the sleeves, and it fits me absolutely perfectly. So love this. That was really cute for Valentine's Day, and I have been wearing it since because I don't think it matters if you're wearing a heart jumper at other times of the year. Next up is my Pogonip. So this pattern came out late last year, and it took the sewing community by storm, and I made this fabulous zebra version as a wonderful collaboration with the gorgeous and wonderful Sarah from Sew Sarah Style. So I'll link both those videos below. So it's a fabulous pattern. I won't go too much into it because it does have a dedicated video all to itself, but I did the little bag on the back, again lined with flamingos. Do they look familiar? And then it's got the poppers down the front. It's got the lovely welt pockets, and this is such a comfortable sweatshirt. It really is. I've got a lovely little rosy cheeks label in the back, and I just love this. I've made another one and I've got plans for another one since as well. It's a fabulous, fabulous pattern. It comes together relatively quickly, but it's just a lovely, lovely pattern, and I would highly recommend it. It's probably, we're hopefully coming out of Pogonip season, but it's a fabulous pattern. I really enjoyed making it, and you can make this in a variety of fabrics. It's a really, really versatile pattern, and there is a sew along for it, but the instructions are fabulous, as they always are with Friday Fashion Company's patterns. Next up is the Nocturne top, which is here. You notice this is actually our clothes dryer, but it's been repurposed as a little hanger. I should get a prettier one, shouldn't I? This is the Nocturne top, which I absolutely love, and I wore this if you saw my recent Sew April blouse video. This is one of the blouses that I showcased. This is actually pajamas. So this is a sew liberated pattern, and it's called the Nocturne pajama top and bottom. So it comes with pajama bottoms as well, and it's for woven fabrics. But in the styling video, one of the models wears this as a top with a pair of jeans, and I was always taken by that image. So I made this one in this beautiful viscose fabric. It's an art gallery fabric that my lovely, lovely friend Christine from Transform Fabrics very kindly gifted me. The little label there saying nailed it, because I was very proud, because I did a burrito front and back, where it doesn't give you the instructions on how to do that, but I kind of figured it out eventually. It has got this beautiful notch at the front, a lovely gathering at the front, and lovely gathering at the back as well. The only thing about this pattern is it does come up very, very big. So if I take a quick look here, my measurements put me in a size 10 to 12, and I made a toile in that, and it was miles too big, even the sleeve length and everything. So I've gone down to a size 6. I've removed an inch from the sleeve, and I removed an inch from the sleeve and removed an inch and a half from the bodice. So I just had to make some slight alterations, but now I think I've cracked the pattern, and I think it's really pretty, wonderful to showcase beautiful light flowy viscose fabric, and it takes just under a metre, which is always good to use up that fabric. So yeah, this is the Sew Liberated Nocturne top, which I really, really like. Next up on my list is the LB pullover, and this was part of my outfit that I wanted for my bias cut skirt. So this is my LB pullover here. The LB pullover is from Paper Theory Patterns. This fabric is a true knit fabric, again from Transform Fabrics, lovely Christine, and this is a fabulous, fabulous pattern. So it's good in all kinds of fabrics. I believe you can make this in a knit and a woven. Am I wrong? If I'm wrong, I'll put it down below. But I was just very taken by this pattern. I think it's lovely, I wanted a kind of a slouchy jumper. The only difference I made was I doubled the size of the neck. So I made the kind of the mock neck, and I just doubled it because I wanted it to kind of fold over, flap over like this. The only thing about this fabric is it's very, very thick, and my overknocker did not like it. So I ended up having to bind the, to do a very, very rough seam on the inside, and I ended up binding the neckline just because it was just far, far, far too big. But I put in a label, can't stop, won't stop, and I really like how this came out. I made a size medium. It's a very, very straightforward pattern. You can also make it sleeveless, which is lovely. It just has a little kind of like an almost cap sleeve. I might size down my next version, although that might just be this fabric that it's so kind of drapey and slouchy, but it's a lovely pattern. It looks really, really nice as a skirt, and it also looks lovely with jeans, so I would highly recommend the LB pullover. Next up is the MET, and again this was to go with my bias cut skirt, and this was kind of a Franken t-shirt. It wasn't meant to be an MET. It's this beautiful navy cotton jersey from Driessen stoffen. The MET from Jennifer Lauren Handmade is fabulous. I've made a good few of these now, and it comes in these really interesting pieces, and you can make the plain front as well. But I'd originally made up another top out of this fabric. I made the Sew Over It Alice top with a little tie at the front, and it did not work. So I chopped it all up, and I just about managed to squeeze out an MET. So it's totally intentional on the front. This is how the pattern comes. On the back, not so much. It's entirely pieced together. You can see a bit of fluff. You can see it's entirely pieced together, but I don't think you'd notice. And it just makes a really, really nice navy t-shirt now. So I was glad not to lose out on that fabric. But the MET is really great. It also comes with sleeves as well. I make a size 14, and I do the short length, so it comes in short, and I think it comes in a regular length. Sometimes I do the halfway between short and regular, and this time, due to sheer fabric limitations, I made the short version, which is absolutely perfect. So it's a lovely, lovely t-shirt. I've made one in white, which I wear all the time, and I do have plans to make a long sleeve one in a lovely kind of stripy Breton fabric. It's a really, really great pattern. So that's the Jennifer Lauren MET. The next one is what I'm wearing, and this is the Donny shirt by Friday Pattern Company, and it's a gorgeous, gorgeous pattern. I absolutely loved it. I had seen so many people wearing it, and I don't know why I resisted it for so long. So this fabric is beautiful cotton from Carlo Fabrics. It's got these big, huge flowers on it. Absolutely beautiful. I made a size medium, and I added 2 inches to the bodice, and I removed 1 inch from the sleeves. Really, really nice. It's a really, really great construction. So it's got this kind of collar here. It has no collar stand, and it's just got this fold over bit here, and then it's got a facing all the way inside, but it is beautifully done the way you do the kind of whole burrito and roll it out when the neckline is being constructed. It's a really, really interesting construction, and the instructions are brilliant. So if I stand up and give you a look, here's what it looks like. So it's got a ready to wear jeans. It's a lovely, lovely top. It's got a little bit of gathering at the back, and it's fully lined on the back as well. And it's just a lovely, lovely shirt. And it takes 1 meter of fabric, which is always a win. So if you have that beautiful fabric in your stash and you want to make up something nice, and I highly recommend the Donny shirt. And I've got plans for another one of these as well. So yeah, again, hoping for the weather to warm up so I can wear it a little bit more often. So really, really great pattern. The Friday Pattern Company patterns are so great, and their instructions are absolutely brilliant. So if you are a beginner, you could attempt this. It's got no buttons or zips or anything, but the instructions are really, really great. The next one I made up is the Leia top, and this is by Laura PR. If I can wrangle it off my my clothes horse. And this is it. You can tell how much I love the colour green. So this is by Laura PR. I had made one of her patterns earlier in the year as well, and she always has really kind of interesting style lines on this. So this is made in a rib jersey that I got again from Driessen Stoffen, a very fine rib, so it's quite drapey. I think it's a viscose rib, but it's really, really lovely colour. It's not actually coming up a true colour. That's a little bit better there. So I really, really love this top. The instructions were a little bit tricky, I'm not going to lie. The instructions around this section here are a little bit tricky. She does now have Instagram stories on how to do that, so I would encourage you to take a look. So yeah, the instructions got me. They really, really did. It took a little bit of unpicking and finagling to see how that all went together. It does have a back seam along here, which gives it a lovely, lovely shape at the back. So if you do often have to do sway back adjustments, then it's pretty much already done for you, which is great. The pattern also comes with gathers along the front as well, which I didn't put in. I didn't like how they looked to me. The style of it I didn't really like, so I just did a straight front. It's got lovely long sleeves. So I made a size 6 grading to an 8, and I added 1 inch to the bodice and 1 inch to the sleeves as well. So just bear that in mind if you are making it. So yeah, I would highly recommend her patterns, but just be warned that I love the end result, but the instructions are a little bit tricky. So just be warned on that. But yeah, really, really like this, and I've been wearing this again an awful lot. I wear it especially under my Marlowe cardigans. I think it looks really nice. But yeah, lovely, a kind of a casual top with a little extra element here. I think it's really, really pretty. So the next one I want to talk to you about is the Wildwood. And I think it's probably the last time I mentioned Stitch Festival. I made this for Stitch Festival. So this is the Wildwood jacket by Helen's Closet in this beautiful pre-quilted fabric from Carlo Fabrics. Absolutely love this, and also I loved it because I matched my lovely friend Sam at Stitch Festival because she had this fabric in a viscose, which she made a fringe dress out of, and we had Fringe dressed Friday, which I love. So this is a fabulous, fabulous pattern. I've made the Wildwood gilet before, and I really wanted to make the jacket. So the instructions on Helen's Closet patterns are just fabulous. They really, really are. So what I wanted with this jacket was to make it reversible. So this is technically the outside of it, and I did the pockets here. But then what I did on the inside was I entirely bound all the inside seams as well to make it fully, fully reversible. And I also put on extra pockets in the front, so I've kind of got 4 pockets. So you can see here, oh, it's covered in fluff, oh dear. These are my pockets again, with a hair bubble in it. And then on the back, I want to put a little Rosy Cheeks label because I think I carry this big, huge label. I think it's fabulous. And then on the sleeves, I made them a little bit longer. So I made a size 10 and I added 1 inch to the sleeves because I wanted to do this with the sleeves to roll them up. So if you're wearing the black side, you can see the little floral pop on the inside. So absolutely love this jacket. Really, really like it. Really comfortable. Lovely and warm and beautiful, kind of spring-like. It doesn't take much fabric, about 1.5 meters of fabric. So if you do have pre-quilted that is quilted on both sides, then you don't need to do your own quilting or anything, which is great. If you do want to make this with and quilt your own, of course, you will need the outer fabric, the lining fabric and the wadding as well. So just bear that in mind. And it does take an awful lot of binding, especially because I bound front and back. So I think I needed about 11 meters of binding. So yeah, That was a bit tricky. But yes, love this pattern. Really, really great. And I probably will make a few more of these. Actually, it's a lovely, lovely pattern and comes together relatively quickly, despite all the binding. The next one I want to share with you is another Sew Liberated pattern. And this is the Nest sweatshirt. And you can probably see that I was using up all my scraps from my other pink heart jumper. So this is fabric from Driessen Stoffen, and then this blue one is from Crafty Studio from a long time ago, and I think this rainbow one is from Beyond the Pink Door. Again, I bound the neckline here with rainbows, and this is a fabulous, fabulous pattern. So you can see I colour blocked the back, but I think these blue and pink look really cute together. So this is fabulous. It's got the sawtooth star front, so you quilt your own little block on the front and then you put it in. It's got these really cool design lines here to slot in the block, and this lovely neckline here as well. This one I made in a view B, because I put on the cuffs and I put on the hemband, and I made a straight size 10 and I added 1 inch to the sleeves. So this is my second Nest sweatshirt. I made it on Christmas, more with a kind of a glittery panel here, which I absolutely loved. But on that one I left off the cuffs and the hemband, but I love both of them. I was recommended this pattern by a lovely viewer and I was just so grateful. It's a fabulous pattern, really, really nice sweatshirt pattern and really fun. And of course you can leave this out, or you can add in a block of your own, which would be really, really fun. So I think we're almost there. So I told you the tops really was where the action was. The next up is 2 max tees. So these are fabulous, and I was inspired to do the max tee by Sarah from Sew Sarah Style. She makes beautiful versions, and this is the chalk and notch max tee. So this fabric is from Driessen Stoffen, and it's just a kind of a tank top with a lovely lower back, and then it's sleeveless, and it's got this lovely kind of mock neckline as well, which I love. So I made this one in a kind of a brick sweat fabric from Driessen Stoffen, and I made this one in, you might recognize the fabric, in this beautiful grey jacquard fabric from the fabric counter. So I make view C, but I don't do the facings because, you know, I don't like facings, and I did bias binding on both of them. So on the armholes, and on this one I think I actually did it on the hem as well. I did, so I just did binding again, which I think is a nice pop of colour, and of course I did the binding on all the necklines as well. And this is a lovely, lovely pattern. I make a straight size 8 and it's not too cropped on me, and it's just a lovely, lovely thing to pop over. Actually, I'll show you one of my next makes, which is just an Agnes top by Tilling the Buttons, and I think these look wonderful under a max tee. I think it's really great. You get an extra little layer, but I think they look really nice, and I definitely have plans for more max tees. They're absolutely fabulous. So it's a really, really great pattern. It does come in different variations. I think you can do a crew neck as well, and you can do maybe a longer version. It takes very, very little fabric, which is brilliant. If you have any of those strange looking shapes left over from another jersey make, a max tee is a really, really good way of using them up. So highly recommend the max tee. And then, as I just showed you, this is my lovely Tilling the Buttons Agnes T-shirt, which is such a staple in my wardrobe. This goes with everything: skirts, dungarees, trousers, jeans, everything, under max tees, over other shirts. It's just fabulous. I make a size 4 grading to a size 5, which I always do with Tilly patterns, and add an inch onto the sleeves. I do have a sew along on my channel as well, which I'll link below, on how to sew a jersey top, and I use the Agnes as a basis for that as well, so I'll link that below if you're interested. Last but not least, I thought I'd end with a little fun make, and this is another Billie in this beautiful bunny fabric that I was very kindly gifted by my lovely friend Anne over on Instagram, and I made these for my boys as well, which I will show you very, very shortly. So again, a fabulous Billie sweatshirt, size 4 grading to a size 5, an inch onto the sleeves, and I use this really, really fun rainbow fabric, and I have this orange left over from the Zog costume, which again I will show you very, very shortly. So now you can really see this. That's really not nice, is it? I shall move on now to the kids mix. Are you still with me? I hope you are. Last but by no means least are the bits and pieces I make for my little boys. So I have 2 little boys. First up is a little hoodie for my older boy, so he's 5.5, and this is the I Can Zip hoodie by Waves and Wild. Waves and Wild do the most fabulous children's patterns. So I got this fabric from Driessen Stoffen. It's a lovely sweat fabric, and I've lined it just in a ponte that I had years and years ago. And then the pattern also comes with instructions for binding the zip and the neckline, and I use this fabulous giraffe little kind of mosaic fabric that I got from Fabric Counter again years ago. It's a fabulous hoodie pattern, a little kind of slanted pocket here and a full zip and a hemband, and my little boy loves this hoodie. He really, really does. So I'm so pleased how this came out. I think I made an age 6, and it fits him absolutely perfectly. The Waves and Wild kids patterns are just fabulous. Next up are the little bunny jumpers that I use to match. So this is older boys one, and then this is younger boys one in this beautiful bunny fabric, again with the rainbow binding. For this I use the kids PJ set from Wardrobe by Me. It's a fabulous pyjama pattern that I use for my boys all the time, and just the top of the pyjamas makes a fabulous just standard jumper, so really good, and these take no time to come together. Absolutely brilliant. Again, using that same pattern, I made a jumper for my younger boy for his birthday. He turned 3 earlier this year. So this again is the same pyjama pattern with the little rainbow binding. You can tell that that's what I've got in my stash. And I was able to use my Cricut machine to do a little Cricut thing here for his birthday. And my favourite little labels made by Mummy. So another really, really quick make. I think I'd made myself a hoodie in this a couple of years ago. Then the last thing I got made up for my boys was the piece de resistance, the thing that broke my heart and several of my machine needles, is the Zog costume. So if you're familiar with these books, the Julia Donaldson books, my boys absolutely love them. For World Book Day, my older boy wanted to be Zog, so I managed to make this costume in the nick of time. All of this came from the Fabruc counters. They have the most fabulous range of fleece and zips and everything, absolutely brilliant. And for this I used as a basis the Peekaboo Patterns Ultimate Costume Creator. I'll pop in here all the things you can do with that pattern. It is fabulous. I traced off an age 4 from a couple of years ago to make a dinosaur costume. I've now traced off an age 6 for him to make this, so it comes with all the spikes, and so basically it's the same as the dinosaur that I made a couple of years ago, but I just self-drafted some wings. I self-drafted his little golden star, if you're familiar with the story, and then I used the unicorn horn but put it here to make it more Zog-like, and I also just added on some teeth, and I added on some little claws on the cuffs and on the feet as well to make it more Zog-like. So I think these are kind of the dog ears that I used as well for Zog, so it's just a fabulous pattern, and my little boy loves it. He wears it all the time, which makes me very, very happy. So it was a labour of love, but I'm very, very glad, and I'll be more prepared for World Book Day next year. But yes, love this, and I kind of think I'd like a onesie like this for myself. So that is it. That is my bumper makes video for my winter and spring plans. So I think going forward I'll do kind of more realistic plans, and I'll keep you updated with makes maybe more often, just so I don't have to land such a large vlog in your inbox. But anyway, thank you so much for joining me if you are still here. If you do have any questions on any of these, please let me know in the comment box below. I'll be sure to get back to you and answer any questions you do have. If you like this video, I would love it if you would give it a thumbs up, and please consider subscribing. I've recently rolled over to 6,000 subscribers, which is very, very exciting. So thank you so much to everybody who keeps coming back week after week. I really do appreciate it, and I just love making these vlogs and chatting to all you lovely people about this wonderful hobby. So I hope you're all well. I hope you're all having a chance to do some lovely sewing for yourself. I'm now in the middle of all my April makes, which is wonderful. So I'm getting through them, and I will put out an April makes vlog very soon. But I will hopefully catch you again very soon in another vlog, hopefully maybe a Friday sews next week. Take care, everybody. Talk to you later. Bye.